Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Well, it's Groundhog's Day all over again. Looks like some nutjob tried to assassinate the president at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. They tell us the assassin wannabe took a train or something from California to D.C. Looks like it's time to close another border, if you know what I mean. And really, let's just stop it with the Secret Service. I say we let the president and his secretaries carry weapons and fight back. Heck, you know that J.D. Vance has nunchucks in his back pocket and Marco Rubio has a knife in his sock. And I'll bet you Robert Kennedy Jr. knows jiu-jitsu. The dude works out wearing blue jeans. That's prison stuff right there. And speaking of highly armed individuals that have been banned from Hilton hotels, this is Dave and Juan. Whoa!
And 3.
Number 2.
With a 1.
Woohoo!
America. In times of stress, which there are always times of stress. Hey, we're back. And
We're
you
back right here.
are welcome.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. For the record, neither Juan nor I were at the White House Correspondents'
No, I would have
Dinner.
been. I had other plans.
Gala, whatever the heck they call that. My favorite term for it, someone used to call it prom for the ugly people or something. Prom. What was it? Prom? No.
That sounded like a Rush Limbaugh thing.
No, it was nerd prom. Nerd prom is what they called it. It's a time of the year that the media nerds would get all dressed up and get all highfalutin and go pretend they were important. And when I say that, I'm not talking about, the real journalists out there like Ray Portier and Jacques Doucet and, these guys. They're real. I'm talking about these frauds. That
Well, people like I saw did they not let Don Lemon go? I saw he was upset about something.
I don't know that I have the official filter out anything with Don Lemon on my phones or in my algorithms, but I did not see that. But while we are referring to, and we are doing this, we always timestamp this thing. It's Monday. We're doing this on a. It looks like. Did you go into work today, Juan, or you just?
I'm doing a little work from home, pretty much. So
work from home. So
and into the office yet.
Juan just officially clocked out. So we're doing this on a Monday early evening. It's going to be just a quick turnaround to slap it on
Right.
This podcast will fall off the truck tonight, hopefully in time for our normal time. But so the White House Correspondents' Dinner was Saturday night. Saturday night, and I was not going to watch any of it. I figured.
No, I don't even know if it was on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna. I'm sure they'd have covered some of it. I'd have watched the clips because you figure Trump was going to.
Yeah.
They said he had written a lot of his own jokes too, which that's worth the price.
That in itself. Yeah.
So he was going to, have at it. So
Right. It's typically a roast of the president. So
it's and in some ways people will say that it was the Correspondents' Dinner that got Trump into running for president.
yeah.
It was when Obama talked trash on him.
Yeah.
And they would just cut to him and sitting in the audience, and he just kind of, he wasn't, he didn't have a face or anything, but you could just tell, reading his
he wasn't
mind,
thrilled with it.
reading his mind, thinking, I might just have to come take this. But anyway, so that was happening, and then some dude, I'm not gonna say his name, partly because I don't remember it. I will make no effort whatsoever to know this guy's name. From California. He's a teacher. You gotta love that. A teacher.
He's a
Teacher and
I
an
think
engineer.
He had gotten like some honors not too long ago.
Perfect. This guy, and the dinner is at the Hilton
Hotel. I guess a DC Hilton.
Okay.
Which is the same place, I believe, where Reagan got shot.
Reagan got shot coming out of there. So you would think by now, maybe
you'd think they'd fix that problem.
So this guy rushes through the magnetometer or whatever they call it, and he was quickly stopped. Okay, but
But I'm still surprised. I don't know. I would just think those guys would have jumped a little quicker when you see a guy running coming at you.
I don't know, man. I there's all kinds of problems. And look, it's so we're doing this on a Monday, so it's 2 days later. So now we're getting to hear from all the hindsight
Yeah.
geniuses. These are the people that they're going find ex CIA and ex Secret Service and ex whatever, and
Mhm.
all these geniuses who now have had 48 hours
Yeah.
to say what should have happened, all given. And look, there are going to be critiques. My big critique is that they're doing it there. Like this is damn near a national. What do they call it when you have the State of the Union? It's a national
Well,
event.
yeah, it's basically everybody's there at for the State of the Union, you have a designated survivor
Correct.
type
They
deal
may
who
have
has to
had
stay
that.
back.
They may have had that, but I mean, you got the president, his wife, you got
Yeah, all in the line of succession. They're all there.
JD exactly. I think the heard somebody say today that if something happens to that room, I think Chuck Grassley
Yeah.
was going to be the president. And if you don't know who Chuck Grassley is, he makes Trump look young. Okay, but so this guy, whatever this psycho is, he rushes, he gets through, and what I'm reading says he ran through with what they call a long gun, which I
Yeah.
think was a shotgun, but he also had a 38 on him and some knives.
Yeah, the he had a number of weapons. Yeah, I think he hid the gun somewhere so that he could assemble the long gun. But that again, I don't know how true that is. Yeah, it's just some of the stuff that I
It
heard.
looks like he was staying in the hotel,
He
which
was
is
in the
again
hotel
a
where no
problem.
bags were checked or anything.
Can you wait? See, so I want to just that blew my freaking mind when I heard this that the hotel, and it's a big hotel, but the hotel that is hosting the president, the vice president, the half of the cabinet or
Yeah.
most of the cabinet, all the we can care less about the media people, whatever. I mean, like half of America would have celebrated, but that's something all the. I don't wish anything bad on anybody, but let's put it this way: that dude wasn't there to shoot up a bunch of journalists. He was
No,
there.
no,
Okay,
yeah, it's
but
they say, he was there for the administration. He was there for the top of the administration.
but they're letting people in to the hotel without
Right. And
checking
from
bags.
I guess the guy who had the room on the side of him said, who also wasn't with an
Right.
official there, said basically he had free reign of the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. And the event is in the basement. Basically, it's below of the hotel. So that is
Yeah. Now look, I
mind-boggling.
know you stayed in hotels where you can't get on a floor that you don't have a key to get on,
Correct.
just from the elevator.
Well, but uh, they're not checking suitcases, dude. You know the
Yeah.
size bombs you can that you can bring into the building. So my point is that in a time of war, which we are in,
Hmm.
we lose track of them. We still got, we're not technically in Ukraine, but that one's ours. But we definitely have the Iranian thing going on. So at a time of war, this is what you're doing. I mean, because some of these countries, I mean, their economy may be crap, their military might not be all that, but boy, they got some people that know how to kill some people.
All for a, yeah, um, basically fun evening.
And it's not fun anymore. So here's the deal,
No.
and this is okay. A couple of old men yelling at clouds here about how everything used to be better than it is now. For a lot of it, anyway. There was a time when that evening was fun.
Right.
It
It was
was,
just a roast. It was not an insult fest.
you know, Carter, Reagan, Bush, even Bush. They started getting nasty at Bush. Bush is, for W is when they really started getting, uh, out there. And these comedians, and I use comedian lightly. I mean, sometimes it's comedian. Sometimes they've had some that are just awful. I
Yeah.
just like not funny at all. So they just get progressively. They're there to see how far they can push it to get points with their friends and their
Yeah.
peers, and
Yeah.
just say some horrible things. So it stopped being fun. And look,
Yeah,
the
did
media.
Trump go to any of them in his first term?
I think he did. He might have. I'm not sure. But he's at a point right now. He's just like in their face. He's like, bring it.
Oh yeah, yeah, you go at it.
He did an interview after this was over. Knee to knee with Nora O'Donnell. What a airhead. And she's sitting there knee to knee with the president, and she's reading this dude's manifesto, but not like the whole. And
Yeah.
again, I haven't read it. I don't want to know it. But and then some of the really bad stuff, and then Trump just. I mean, that's got to be a feeling to be sitting there knee to knee with the president of the United
That's
States.
powerful, man. That's
And him telling you you're horrible. You people are horrible.
yeah. I knew you were going to ask that. That's why I came.
That's right.
You're horrible.
You're
It's
horrible.
disgusting.
You're saying that. So it was. All right.
Well, here's
So-
the deal. Anytime they read any manifesto, is there? Have you ever heard of a manifesto that was something of value? I don't know. Maybe there is, but it's the only time I hear about manifestos is stuff people leave when they go to shoot up people.
Yeah, you would kill. The only one that ever did, I think it was the good manifesto was Unabomber. And when I say good, I'm not saying it was not. The dude was not a good guy. Of course, if you hear the whole story on this dude, I mean, our government basically turned that guy the way he was.
Yeah.
This guy was experimented on. I mean, like psychological manipulation. He was they turned Ted Kaczynski into what he became. Okay, so he was, but his manifesto was, it's it's more high level kind of.
Right. It gave you some insight into his head.
Again, not a good guy. Didn't turn out to be a good guy, but that's what it was. So I could care less the rantings of these lunatics.
Yeah.
But then somebody pointed out that whatever this current guy, whatever he wrote, they said you can basically hear that on MSNBC or CNN every day. He's basically regurgitating the stuff that they've been saying. But so anyway, he gets through, and that's the other thing too, guys. And from day one, we've told you everybody's lying, and sometimes they're lying intentionally, and sometimes they're lying because they'd rather just report something than get it right. The first reports we all got was this dude was killed.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody, there was one shooter that got through security. He was killed. Turns out, nope. Dude was in court today. He was not killed. He was apparently shot at. He was not hit. Okay. So look, Secret Service has a tough job. I wouldn't want that job, but how's that guy still alive?
Yeah. And that's, because he fired a shot too. He hit a Secret Service guy.
Okay. I think that's what happened, but I haven't heard that specifically. I heard the Secret Service guy was struck.
Well, Trump said it in his speech afterwards.
He might have been told. He might have been told that by the same idiots that thought the guy was dead. Okay, but so apparently the Secret Service guy was struck he had a vest on.
In the vest, yeah.
And that hurt. By the way.
Oh yeah.
It'll take you out.
Volunteering to stand up there with a vest and take a bullet.
That's bad. You take a 38 slug to the chest. That's
typically breaks ribs.
Gonna smart a little. But he makes it. He doesn't. Dude, you run at Taylor Swift with a gun, you dead. You run at Elon Musk with a gun, you dead. You follow me? Like, how is this guy breathing air right now?
Well, that's because there's also the people who now say it was just it was a fake thing that the Republicans did it, and they said so they got a guy who basically went to No Kings rallies, who voted for Kamala, who posted all kind of anti-Trump stuff, and to run in there and start shooting, and then they left him alive.
Yeah. Well, look, I may not be a conspiracy theorist, but maybe I am. Here's how you know that the government had nothing to do with this guy. He's alive.
That's right.
You know what they didn't do? They didn't shoot him well after the fact. The FBI didn't come in and clean up the crime scene immediately. They didn't cremate the guy 2 days later. They didn't scrub his house of all evidence. They didn't take his phones. Yeah. And so every time this comes up, it just goes back to Butler. And what an inside job. I mean, that was it just brings it back to, oh, yeah, that's true. They've been trying to get this guy killed for a while, and because he wasn't president at the time, I don't think the current crew is trying to get him killed, but there you go. And he wanted to go back on. You see, here's what I don't understand. I can see this. I can see why they do it. But Trump apparently was saying, no. Let's go finish this. But then all the quote unquote journalists had left. They were spread everywhere. The local DC cop. I love that. What are you doing now, guys? It was one dude. What y'all gonna? Oh, y'all gonna do a bomb sweep now?
Yeah, make sure nobody else got through our security system.
Yes. But did you see
I did
where
like Dana White though? Did you see him? Dana White from UFC. He didn't hit the floor. He just sat there and said, "I was just taking it all in." It was pretty amazing.
I probably would have done the same thing, man. I mean, because at some point, yeah, once you survive that initial
Right.
yeah, then it just. But did you see where? I don't know how many of it was journalists. They got pictures of them, but at least some of the guests, they all were taking the wine with them.
Yes.
So they have to abandon the room, evacuate the room, get out now. And these dregs of humanity in prom dresses are grabbing the wine off the table
for the after party, man.
So
that's what they said. It was still just a salad service, so there was a lot of wine left on the tables.
So anyway, so that's 3 times now. No president, I believe, no president has ever had 3 assassination attempts.
Well, 3 that could have easily been successful.
True.
That they didn't catch him to the point of, I'm sure there's been other stuff in the works that hopefully has been spoiled before it got that close.
Yeah, we kind of just sort of discount the guy that was on the golf course with Trump on the golf course. The dude's got a long barrel
in the bushes.
In the bushes with equipment to like a sniper kind of do. This dude, he was all, and it was sort of an accident. Somebody with a good eye caught him. It wasn't.
I might shank the ball in the bushes and saw him probably.
But yeah, go back and look up more of the Butler thing. The Butler thing is still the one that's a miracle. I mean, it's God bless the poor guy that was killed there. And I'm not talking about the shooter. I'm talking about the guy.
Yeah, the EMT guy.
But but you see it in real time. You see it in real time. Like, wow, no, man, right? At this point, was that line? At this point, if you're not a conspiracy theorist, you're an idiot. But so there you go. So thankfully, nobody was killed. My only hope is that Trump declares all the media, whatever he has to do a press conference or to do a national address and just read his monologue. This is what I was.
Well, he says he's going to do it again. He's going to schedule it within 30 days. Or he'll post it all on Truth Social.
Well, there you go. Now, and just a couple of check things checking off here. So we've said this before, and I don't know if it's still a competition, but the competition may be over. It was a competition between Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel to be the biggest just evil asshats. But Jimmy
Kimmel was, I wouldn't go listen to it because I'm not even going to click on that. Yeah. So he was the MC of the event?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I doubt. No, there's no way. There's no way. He may have done it in the past.
But where was he when he delivered that line?
I want to say it was a couple days ago.
Okay. All right.
I could be wrong. And I'm not gonna do the pause here, guys, to look it all up. But he may.
Yeah. No, like I said, I didn't even want to click on it to justify giving it more attention.
He called Melania a widow in waiting.
Right. He said you're glowing like a widow in waiting.
Yeah. So basically saying that she can't wait for her husband to die.
Yeah.
That's really funny, huh? That's but there you go. And it's really weird how that works. It's like, oh wait, that's freedom of speech. I get it. All right. But
even James Carville, I read something today where he was quoted as saying, I don't want him to die. I want him to suffer.
James Carville, I mean, I don't have any proof of it, but they say that when Capone finally died, he died of like syphilis and he went crazy. Like his brain was I think Carville's fitting that. You listen, and I won't because I have that repulsion when I see him on screen, but I just read the stuff he says sometimes, and I'm like, how does that
Yeah.
work? That you
Yeah,
get
he's
to
crazy. He seems very crazy.
okay, so there you go, America. That's so Groundhog's Day again. It you know, but thankfully
Yeah.
everybody's fine. Our peace talks with Iran is going great.
Yeah. Who are we even talking to?
But nobody. Anytime somebody is senior enough that you want to talk to them, we kill them, blow them
Yeah.
up. That might be the way to just start peeling the onion, right?
I did like Saturday though when Trump said, "No, we're not flying these people out there for taking an 18-hour flight for you.
That's right. Yeah, we're gonna save the
We hold,
gas.
we hold a card. You come to us when you got something for us."
We're gonna save the gas. Okay, it has to come to a head sooner or later though because it's straight to Hormuz, and it might force some things. But we'll see. The other one, and then we're gonna put this thing to bed. The other one that just a clip I saw. I don't think this guy's on TV anymore. But you remember this guy Chuck Todd?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, he's got I think he's got a podcast, which
What
is
a
what they all go to. when they
everybody.
lose
Hey,
yeah.
has he done 251 episodes?
I doubt that.
I doubt
That's the one I
that.
think Rush Limbaugh used to call him F. Chuck Todd.
That's right. Suck that, Chuck Todd. But he made a comment. He might have been there, I guess, or whatever. But he made a comment that he wasn't going to any more Trump events because you just weren't safe. You weren't safe at a Trump event. He's literally saying because Trump doesn't care about your safety.
Yeah.
So, dude, you worm. Like
Yeah,
like.
let me keep throwing gas on the fire, and when this ignites, I got to leave the room.
Well, I'll tell you what, a little closer to home, but somebody who was wound up, and some people were passing the Twitter and the video around, the tweet, and then apparently Elon Musk even retweeted it, so it got seen. Was our boy Jeff Landry
Yeah.
doing a press conference, and
The
I'll let you explain what it's a tragedy. What happened there, Juan?
There was last Thursday in the Mall of Louisiana, just right down the street from where I live. There was the media likes to refer to them as groups, but there were a couple guys in different gangs.
Like the Crips and the Bloods, those
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
groups.
Who apparently were all in the food court. It was around between 1 and 1:30, so heavily
What day of the
populated
week was
area.
this?
What's that?
What day of the week was this? Do you remember?
Thursday.
So it's heavily populated with young people at 1:30.
Well, here I can explain. I mean, it's
Oh.
just it's lunchtime, so there's
Okay.
they're in the food court. I don't know how many people were in the area, but so these two groups had words with each other and started shooting at each other.
Oh, good.
As
one does.
Yeah, right. Typical stuff. You just shoot across the table. 6 people were wounded, including 3 high school students, one of which died. And it was their senior skip day. Now, I know my daughter's school did that, where it's not like we used to just cut out of school. They have an official thing that the school endorses, senior skip day. So before people go off on that, should have been skipping school. It was basically
It was a sanctioned skip
a
day.
sanctioned event. Yeah. I don't know if any of the people who were shot were the people who were being shot at by
Right.
either group. So I don't know if it was just, and they have not announced that yet. I work with the mother of the girl who died.
Do you? I remember you
not-
texted.
She doesn't, we don't work for the same company. She's account
okay.
executive
Okay.
for us at our ad agency. So I meet with her on a weekly basis. Had several conversations about her daughter. She was getting ready for college with her. So just a tragedy all around. But Jeff Landry in his press conference was visibly ticked, as he should be, and started referring to things like the judge, because one of the guys we talked about on this podcast about a month and a half ago.
When you pointed that out, and those of you that have not caught up on the previous 250 episodes, you were telling me, and we did it in a joking way because
Right.
at the time it seemed it was absurd. We joked about how absurd it was that this guy,
Right. He had gone through, he's got his high school has a metal detector, gone through it, set it off, but they didn't check him because they said he was a nice guy. He's a basketball player. Everybody liked him. He's kind of new at the school. Everybody liked him.
He's a nice guy. So the
Nothing.
fact he set off and why did he set off the metal detector?
Well, because he had a gun, Dave.
Because he was carrying
He
a
had a
gun.
gun that was also, I don't know which he had some type of whatever you call it, kit to set the gun as an automatic pistol.
There you go.
He had it stuck in his sweatpants and it went off during class. But then he went hide it in the ceiling of the bathroom.
Correct.
So he was, a young man was arrested, um, and put on an ankle monitor while he waited his court date.
Because of course, because that's going to keep you honest.
Right, right. Well, Tuesday before the court date, I mean Tuesday before the Thursday of the shooting, I
Right.
guess he went to court and the judge allowed him to take off the ankle monitor and say you're just going to be on cell phone monitoring. You only can leave your house to go to church, go to school, or go to work. Other than that, you're confined to your home. He was one of the shooters.
So
So
two
apparently
day,
those orders didn't, that
Yeah.
confinement didn't stick to him. And so that's why Jeff Landry referred to the judges as hug a thug
hug a thug.
judges.
What? Think about it. Here's a guy with the judgment to bring a gun to school.
Yeah.
The idiocy and the carelessness to have it go off in class. Okay. And then I'm guessing they took that gun away. I would only hope they took that gun away. But here's the deal. Apparently guns aren't hard to get,
No, especially not, especially the illegal guns.
And my thing is, why would a judge say, okay,
It's insane, man.
you good now?
It's
Let's take off what's been, and then 2 days, not 1, 2 days.
right.
I mean, not 2 months, 2 days after he gets that off. Is it him that did? Do we know it's him that?
I don't know that he was. There's one guy that they've arrested as a shooter. And he left the mall. His grandmother gave him a ride to leave the mall. And so surveillance footage caught the license plate, and I guess they called his grandma. And,
Mama, I need a ride.
yeah, and he ended up turning himself in.
So to his credit, and Jeff was mad. Jeff was full on accent. He was full on the accent, and he even mispronounced a couple words. I mean, which we do all the time, but
Yeah, it makes it better, makes it more real.
he was furious about. Well, and now and let's see what happens, y'all. I mean,
Well, and he can't do a ton. I mean, the legislature's got to do a lot of stuff, but there are people who are ticked off at him, for calling them thugs. For saying that the government is not responsible for raising these kids, and people are saying, "Oh, the government is responsible for creating programs to keep these kids out of trouble."
nope.
And then he used the term "they," and he said, "I don't care how old they are. They do this, they ought to go to jail for life." And so it was saying it was very racial for him.
Is it? Well, days are
The
racial.
term
Days are a
Yeah.
racial term now.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought that was an accepted pronoun. I mean, they got
yeah.
some people that
coulda-
identify as them, they.
Right, he was being inclusive.
We shall see. So, hey, stay mad, Jeff. Everybody should be mad. Everybody should be mad.
I mean, it's a hurtful thing. Anytime that stuff happens.
Impressed with that family. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
know?
it's because the girl's a senior getting ready to graduate from school.
Well, I
and
mean-
just, 2 weeks ago, when her and her mom, we missed our meeting because her family was on spring break in New York, like one big trip
Oh, yeah, yeah.
before she goes off to college and everything. So, and it's just, I don't know, you got to be, because it's everywhere. And so, I mean, there are people paying tribute to the girl. So her picture is all over social
Right,
media,
right.
which has to be, not that I'm thinking the mom's very interested in delving into social media. at
Well,
this point.
we've spent about half of this podcast on some pretty negative things, but let's stay negative. Did you see? And those of you, some of you may know what we're talking about. So a few months back, this guy, the lovely foreign young lady. I think she was from Russia, I think. The blonde, the young blonde that was stabbed on the tram in, I think it
Oh,
was North Carolina.
one of the Carolinas. Yeah, I'm not
Okay,
sure where she was from, but yeah, one of the Carolinas.
by this guy, and I think he was an illegal.
Yeah, just and random
Okay,
like overkill.
just reached over and stabbed, and it's on video. Just poor thing, and you just it's tragic beyond belief. Okay, that guy, and then I think when he walked off, he said something about "I got the white girl." Okay, so look, I'm one of these people about I don't know. I think a crime's a crime. What's the difference between a crime and a hate crime? But I think when you literally walk off
Yeah, when you call it.
and call it, I'd probably throw that on there too. This guy apparently was on, I forget what kind of services he was on, what kind of, I mean, you name it. The dude was on all kinds of programs. He had, whatever. They found him insane
Oh, of course.
yeah, can't,
He's probably back on the programs.
sane enough to do everything else, sane enough to be walking all over society. But when the guy decides to lean over and kill an innocent person, no, he's
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
so I think I don't know what the answer is, but maybe part of it is every judge, we need a scorecard. Every judge, their face, Elon can do that or whatever, just because that's what I said. Elon retweeted the thing with Jeff. So trust me, there are a lot of people around the world that saw Jeff Landry go crazy. And he didn't really go crazy. He just had this. He just had
Yeah, he was
anger.
angry. He was emotional, man. It should have been.
And right. So what else are you going to do? Because all of us, we hear this and we're all like, who are these people? Who are these? When did this happen? When did, we grew up with, man, you don't want to get in front of the judge.
No,
Oh man, you in trouble when you're in front of the judge. And now apparently it's a revolving door joke.
Yeah, all right, yeah, come back later.
So, well, when I'm elected, Juan, we'll get all that. We'll get
Something, another painful story, but not as, I guess it's tragic. I guess if maybe this guy's tragic, but this happened the week before last. There was a bullfighter in Spain.
I don't
See this story?
No, I only heard of the injury. I did not see the video. If there
No, I
is a
didn't see the video, but this dude, like some famous bullfighter, and they say very cocky. I didn't even know people still really did bullfights, but so yeah, he got through two bulls, and then the third one came, and somehow or another got loose, and the horn went right up the exit, so to speak.
I heard he had like a 4-inch gash in his
And his rectum. Yeah, and so like horn up the butt.
He
and
definitely
then,
was
like,
wrecked.
yeah,
He was
a-
wrecked.
yeah, as a bull does.
Oh, wait,
starts-
the bull lifted him?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. America, sorry, we didn't give you the frissons warning. Should have had the David Juan frissons warning. A bull
Yeah.
impaled him.
Impaled him, and I don't know if it's technically impaled since it was, already an opening, so to
True.
speak.
Well, all the other bulls have to just be like, man, you the man. Because when they fight these bulls, they don't let them go. That's the thing. It's not like a rodeo. Like rodeo, you ride the bulls, and the bull doesn't want to be out there, but he does his thing, and you do their
They
thing.
end up killing him in these things.
And yeah, and they bleed him to death, man. That's the whole thing with the swords and stuff. I mean, look, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I mean, I'm kind of going by Ernest Hemingway kind of stuff. So I mean, I doubt they've upgraded or updated how they fight the bulls.
Yeah.
But that was always the thing, because you're not gonna, sooner or later that bull's gonna get you. But when you keep sticking a sword in it and you bleed it out,
Yeah.
the bull eventually becomes weak, and then
Right. Then you win.
oh, macho man. But hey, it's a cultural thing, right? Well, so is
That's right.
cockfighting, so is dog fighting. It's all wrong.
Well, yeah, both cockfighting and chicken killing you.
Well, it's just true. But the cockfighting stuff, they put those
Those spurs on them.
metal spurs on. I know, man.
Yeah. I've never seen that, but yeah.
I don't know. People are. It's hard to judge. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. There was a time, and well, I never liked the fight. I never enjoyed the fighting animals thing. But the closest thing I'd ever do to fighting animals is if you had these beta fish, these
I've always said I'd like to put two beta fish
no, no,
in
no, no. I
one.
never
Maybe
put them
put 'em
together,
together.
but you put them close, like there's glass in between them.
Yeah.
Or what you would do, like I used to hold a mirror. If you hold a mirror up to the aquarium, those beta go, man, they get all ticked off, and they don't. Hey, guess
Right.
what?
You don't know any better. You don't know what he looks like.
A fish don't know what it looks like in the mirror, and they're probably pretty amazed. Man, this guy's good.
Taking everything I'm giving.
Man, this guy, I can't get around this guy. What the hell? But so I don't know. I guess we wish that guy.
Yeah, speedy recovery.
We hope you fix him
Or
your
whatever.
rectum.
Yeah.
All right, and this is not a violent thing necessarily, but it's humorous in a how messed up are we kind of way. A lot of people have heard of the organization called the Southern Poverty. I used to be able to speak poverty. The Southern Poverty Law Center. Law Center, I think it's called. Yeah, the SPLC. It has been for years now. It's like the go-to organization for fighting racial injustice. It's the place that, behind you name it. If it has something to do with race, that all the studies, all the whatever, man, that's the organization. That's that's them. That's what it turns out. Little investigating. The Southern Poverty Law Center has been the largest donator to the KKK over the past, I don't know how many years, and I forget how many other.
All kind of hate groups.
So this organization has been taking in millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in donations and some of your tax dollars, by the way, because they all run a scam with the NGOs and everything. It's incredible what they do, but has literally it's sort of like there's that star fireman. Man, that guy's a hero.
Right, go on light fires.
Yeah, that guy's a hero, man. John the
he
fireman
always seems to be there first.
He's always there on the scene. That guy is always, and man, he's so.
You know how bad that fire would have been if he hadn't stepped in?
Turns out he was setting them all.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, but here's the deal. Who's going to jail? Who's
Nobody.
That's my point. Right. There are certain, it's like somebody pointed out that, well, here's one of the reasons that, people that say like whether it's the Somali daycares or California, by the way, and it's funny how they're not talking about this that much. The fraud in Minnesota was unbelievable, and California dwarfs it times 10. So California, what they're finding it's just the absolute billions and billions of dollars a year, just stolen fraud, fake hospices, fake whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't count it on that. It's like, all right, well, they just, they you studied accounting, just do a little subtraction there and we're all balanced out.
The California legislature is literally passing, and I'm going to say try to pass, but they always, anything they say they're going to pass, they pass laws to go after people who do investigative journalism on the government. Yeah. Like this guy that exposed a young guy, like in his 20s.
Right, guy that did the stuff in Minnesota.
He went out to California, and he's nailing everything in California. They're going after him. They're trying to pass a law to shut that guy down. Here's a hint, y'all.
Right. And let's be honest, this dude doesn't have some big, production team and researchers behind him.
It's him and a camera.
Him and an iPhone, pretty much.
Pretty much. And he just goes, he does stuff that you would think the media is supposed to do.
Yeah.
The media with all these teams of people. How come this guy with his cell phone can go expose billions? That used to be a thing, right? They used to give awards to that, man. If you could like show that the taxpayers are being robbed of billions of dollars a year, you would think the person who uncovered that would be a hero.
Right, give him a share. Let's do a little bounty on it.
What's the the Pulitzer, right? That's like the big one. Hey, why doesn't this guy get a Pulitzer? No, they're trying to pass laws to stop him. That might be a hint, y'all.
Yeah. We can't stop the gravy train.
When politicians are trying to pass laws to keep people from exposing that might be
Yeah, corruption with your money.
might might be a problem. But
Maybe the Southern Poverty Law Center can represent that guy.
yeah, might be. I don't know with this guy. I first non-political thing we talk about, but the other day, you remember I made the joke about I'm in the gym and this guy's wearing a shirt. In the front, it's a big black sweatshirt. And in front of it says, retreated, not defeated. And it's all these stats about the mountain that he apparently tried to climb.
Yeah, but retreated.
K2, yeah, but boy howdy, and this is Texas. It's hot, and he's still wearing. So anyway, the guy that's wearing, the sweatshirt. That's like I said, you wearing a shirt to celebrate the fact you didn't accomplish what you set out. He was in the gym this week. Different color sweatshirt. That dude bought 2 sweatshirts of the same. He bought 2 loser shirts.
And look, I bought souvenir sweatshirts for my kid. I'm guessing they're not cheap.
Probably not, but he bought 2 of them, and like I said, it's 86 degrees this week in Texas. He's got that sweatshirt on. I'm like, man, look at you.
Right.
I almost commented saying, bro, I just want to make your day that I notice that shirt. Now, I talk bad about you on a podcast that you might not.
Yeah, say I rather than the other color.
That's right.
He's got 2 that you know of. Put it that way.
Yeah, he might have a yellow one at home too. You look like less of a loser in the black one. I'm just saying. And the dude's obviously in shape. I mean,
Yeah. So
Well,
I tell you who's not defeated is my dad. 7-0, so he's got one more left. 7-0.
We don't want at some point.
At the Council on Aging games. Yesterday, Dave, it was the most hilarious thing ever. I was at his house, and he comes out in his T-shirt, or as he called it, his undershirt.
His undershirt.
And gives me his phone that he doesn't really know how to work, but it says, "Here, come take my picture." And he's putting all his medals on.
Oh.
And so my wife says, "Why do you have your T-shirt on?" And he says, "Because it's white, they're going to show up better."
Oh, it's perfect.
He's art directing his photos.
Do you have that picture on your phone?
Yeah.
Shoot it to me immediately.
All right, I'll send it to you.
That will be the Dave and Juan. What do you call it? The billboard this week.
The thumbnail for the week.
The thumbnail for the week will be.
So he told me, he said, "Yeah, I was the only person over 91 or over 90 in the mile race, so I just automatically won that one. But all the other one, there were people. Well, I just took care of them."
Cold-blooded. This is if it was cold-blooded, man.
Yeah,
well, what kind of event? So there's a mile walk.
The mile is a baseball throw. There's shuffleboard. There's, I think, a football throw. I don't even know. There's horseshoes. Nothing real strenuous.
Well, but dude, I'm sorry, and this is all due respect, and I mean literally tons of respect. You're 91 years old.
Yeah.
If you can still throw horseshoes, that's pretty good, man. And hey, and walking a mile?
Yeah, I can't walk a mile now.
So wait, so he was the one above 91. So nobody above 90. But let's just say you're in your mid 80s. Do they have?
I don't know what I don't know what there are age classes, so I don't know where the break is.
Do they compete at the same time, or are they individually timed?
That I don't know.
Because that could be a little dangerous, man. A little dangerous, little dangerous, little disheartening. You and your buds are out there at 85 years of age.
Yeah.
You coming up there. You're about 100 yards from the finish line, which is still going to take you another 10 minutes. But I mean, who trips who?
That's right. Just stick my leg out. Never gonna know the difference.
Or canes allowed? Can you do the walk with a walker?
I don't know.
Right? I mean, who knows, Juan? You and I are not all that far.
No, well, I ain't walking no mile. I gave up. I went to physical therapy today, though, and I'm off the walker.
Look at you. I wanted to point that out. Those of you that are listening to Juan, and there's not a hollow noise, he is up in the studio with the professional mic for the first time in 2 weeks.
That's right. I climbed up the stairs today.
This needed to be the only thing that would get your butt up the stairs is your commitment to America.
That's it. It's I have to get my wife to carry my computer and stuff. It's good leg up. Good leg step first going upstairs. On the way down, you do the bad leg
She
first.
may she may leave you up there. You could probably just slide down, huh? If you sat down.
I thought about it, but I don't know. That would hurt.
Oh, bro, you know what you do? Take go get a sofa cushion and ride that baby down there. That's one way to get you. That's one way to get your foot to touch your butt too.
Yeah, well,
You've been working on that? Did they ever do that?
I'm still working on it. I yeah, I'm a ways off from that, but I'm
Those of
doing
you
all
that
right.
missed it, part of Juan has
I have a knee replacement a
a
couple
knee
weeks ago.
replacement. It's going to be coming up on is it 3 weeks now or 2 weeks?
3 weeks tomorrow.
Okay, so 3 weeks tomorrow. And part of what the physical therapist wanted him to
I want you to
achieve,
bend like 90 plus degrees.
and
So,
basically, if he could touch his foot to his butt.
yeah,
Well, I was
well,
about to say, well, that's about as far as you can put it, man. You're not a bull, like the bull can get a
yeah,
little bit
that's about
higher.
180 degrees. You go to your butt, but
Yeah, yeah, that's
no,
too much for that.
yeah, no, but it's getting there, man. I'm getting there.
Good deal, good deal. Um, General news thing. You see that Utah, and this is a weird world we're living in with AI, and that's everybody's world is swimming in this stuff now. With you got to try to it's either going to change everything and it's the end of the world, or some people are saying it's going to be a flop. It is a flop. It's somewhere in between. I mean, it's incredible the stuff that we can already
Hmm.
do with AI. But the thing with AI and the expansion of it, and exponential expansion of it, it requires huge, huge data centers, like
Oh yeah, totally.
beyond beyond what Google ever had. And as big as Google is, and as big as Apple and Amazon Web Services, and these warehouses and warehouses of computer servers, it's that time stuff. It's
Right, because basically what AI does, it's scrubbing or searching every aspect of every internet type deal.
which
So it's Google on steroids, which needs some computing capacity to
which
be
is
able to do it.
funny, because it shows you when the true people with power, and that's not Trump, that's not your governors, that's the handful of soon to be trillionaires. That's going to happen. Musk is going to be a trillionaire.
Hmm.
That was unthinkable 15, 20 years ago. You'd have thought, how in the world could anybody ever be worth $1 trillion? Well, I think Musk is at 800 billion right now, so it's going to
Yeah.
happen. And there's going to be 5 or 6 of them that are probably going to hit a trillion. They'll have a net worth of $1 trillion in the next maybe 5 to 10 years. If they want something, it's going to happen. Um, because AI in many ways is the greatest vacuum of information. It is the biggest copyright infringer there is. So it scrubs the internet, it scrubs whatever, it all available data. Well, a lot of available data is trademarked, it's
Right.
copyrighted,
And I think we talked about this the other day or previously on here. It takes the data from somewhere, but that data never gets attributed to the source.
correct, or compensated for it,
Right.
right? So I saw two things recently. One is Disney, and Disney. I mean, my wife gets annoyed when I say this because everybody likes to keep that Disney,
And
when you
mystique.
wish upon us. Yeah, and we all had some wonderful Disney memories. But you look under the hood, Disney's been a pretty jacked up organization for a while, and they got some evil stuff going on there, and they've done some weird things. But Disney not long ago fired like a bunch of animators of their professional artists, including a lot of them that did all the Avengers stuff, and I forget what. But anyway, they used AI to basically train on everything that their animators and
Oh,
artists
yeah.
had done, to the point that AI could just basically regurgitate it, could do.
Right. And that's, I think, what a lot of people don't understand. You train your AI,
Correct.
your AI tool. So if you're in a business, you can, the one we use at work, they've trained it and it keeps all our brand standards in, it speaks in our brand voice. And that's not a highly technical aspect of it. But
Right.
yeah, so it can replicate anything, again, from people who do voiceover. Somebody could grab our voices and do a podcast and it sounds just like us.
Voiceover work. Yeah, I mean, voiceover work is in trouble. Well, we said it before. Everybody from lawyers to accountants, and they, there's some hallucination that goes on. You can't trust everything you see, and there are more and more people getting nailed for turning in AI work slop that is obviously wrong. But one I saw also was this guy today he had a video of, and I forget the name of the company, but I think he said Warner, the record company, one of the like sued, but basically sued to get a piece of it. But there's this program that basically, or this AI that just has grabbed all the music available, like every public, right? You name it. Name an artist, name a song throughout history. It's all online.
Right.
It is basically taking it all, and you can go to it and say, I would like a song about this, doing this, doing this, doing this, and it puts out stuff that sounds
No.
right to the non-trained professional musician. You couldn't tell the difference, right? But like the guy was saying, nobody got compensated for that. It basically has taken all these artists' work, and oh, by the way, Warner, which should be the company that is fighting this, instead says, I'm suing you for a piece of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're gonna make money off it too.
So they're all just rolling over 100%.
Yeah, if you think about it from the music industry, I remember in the 80s when, synthesizers were becoming popular and true musicians were getting ticked off at that because they said, oh, it's just a computerized thing. It's not even real music. Then it became, what did they do when like in the rap stuff when they grab like a line or something?
Oh, no, sampling, man. Sampling.
Yeah, sampling became.
To this day, I can't figure that out. To this day, I can't figure that out. And that's why I hated some of the, some of my biggest hangups with a lot of that music, and I don't know if they're still doing it, is anybody who's basically singing a song, but the core of the song, what actually makes it, memorable and you want to listen to is somebody else's music.
Right.
It's like when Diddy, who before we knew all he was about, did the Missing You. I mean, not Missing You. Darn it. He did the Sting song. Every Breath You Take.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, that's one of the most famous one was Ice Ice Baby, which
stole that from
Queen. Dun dun dun
yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Yeah, but he always said no. My song was dun 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 dun.
The good old days. The good old days. Let me circle back on that. The reason I started bringing up the Utah thing, it just passed, and it looks like it's gonna happen. They're building what they call a hyperscale data center. I'm not sure what town or what city or what field, wherever they're doing it in Utah. Okay. This AI hyperscale data center. This center will use as much electricity and power as the entire state.
Wow.
The state.
They ain't running that baby on windmills.
No, they're not. That's the other funny thing too. Oh, quote unquote fossil fuels, which by the way, if you want to do a deep drill on that, they're not fossil fuels. Hey, we'll talk about this another time.
It was a name that sounded
correct. Yeah. Oil regenerates, y'all. Go figure. Some of it's easier to get than others, but there's a reason we've never run out of oil, nor will we ever run out of oil. It regenerates, but hey, that's something altogether. We'll talk about that another time. Same thing with nuclear. About the only thing you can see that possibly could keep up with the need for power is going to be nuclear. And boy, that was evil. You can't have that until the tech gods decide, hey, we need it.
Well, my oldest son is in town, and I was talking to him last week about it because they do site selection surveys and everything for industry that's looking for, and they've got some in this, I guess, in this sector, the guys who are building, the big grids or the data center and everything. And I was saying, so they just need a lot of land? Do they need? And he said, oh, no, you got to have access to a lot of electricity, a lot of power to be able to fuel that thing.
Oh, and water.
Yeah.
Because they're water cooled. They're water. That's the only thing that they can remotely keep these things or try to keep. Oh, and stuff I'm reading says that around some of these bigger data centers, it literally lifts the temperature of the area by a few degrees.
For the point that it needs water and power, it's not like it's going in the middle of the desert somewhere.
No, it's not. It needs to be near where, and guess where all the power generators are, y'all. They keep them near the populations because that's where they have. That's
Right.
where they
That's
have
what
to
it is.
be.
It's cheaper to pump the electricity to
And
the
gee
population.
whiz, when you got something that's drawing as much energy as most of your state, you think your energy prices go down or up?
I would think they go down, Dave.
Yes.
Supply and demand. As the
So, con-
demand goes up, so does the price.
so congratulations, world. We have technology that more than likely is going to take your job, going to wipe out some industries. And in the meantime, your power bills are going to probably double
And
and
while you're
quadruple.
sitting home, unemployed,
But don't worry, there's going to be universal basic income. Right. Because that's always worked. How's that working for New York right now? I know they won't call it
yeah.
that, but
Yeah, I saw they're moving the poverty line up, or they're trying to move the poverty line in New York up to 160,000 a year.
the poverty line is 106. But you know the
Yeah,
sad part is, Juan, that's not far off. I mean,
yeah.
you can't live. It's impossible to live
Well, but
there.
the problem is not that people don't make enough money; it's that things cost too much.
Yeah, yeah. So just remember, y'all, in the overall scheme of things, for the most part, you're the bullfighter, and tech and the government are the
They're the
bull in
horn.
this case. And sometimes they stick you in an unpleasant place and shake their head with you, and that's
There you go. Just leave it. Yeah, that's a nice little pleasant feeling.
yeah. But we're here to fight it for you, everybody. You know what? It's about time. I think the buffet is before, and we're going to try to
There it is.
flip it, flap it, get it out of here. Hey, we're going to push the button, get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape up in the sky. We sure hope it did. If you want to reach us, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com, or
Right here, wherever
right here.
here happens to be.
happens to be you did it. You did it before, do it again. Every week we tell you, not a hint, suggestion, or subtle implication, y'all. It is a
Yeah, it's a
freaking
freaking mandate, bro.
live your best life. Live your best life. You got
What
one
got to
day.
lose.
You got one day today. Today. Tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Nope, nope.
Hope it is.
But that bullfighter's, glad he's around today.
He's sleeping on his stomach. Guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. But that bull's a hero. All the other bulls are like, man, I know they ended up killing you, but they're always going to talk. They're always going to talk about Fernando. Remember that time Fernando turned that guy into a popsicle? That was the best. I don't know why you think the bulls sound like that. The Nacho Libre Bulls, but yeah, man, live your best life. Give it your best shot. We're gonna try to do the same. Go out there. No, I'm gonna be in Louisiana. Let me think. Okay, we're gonna do one of these before I go. I'm not this week, but the following week. So we'll figure it out. I'm spending 3 or 4 days in New Orleans. So
all right. You're missing Jazz Fest.
Thank you. That's exactly right. No, I'm not missing it. Not missing it. I saw footage of Stevie Nicks. God love her. She's one of my favorite artists of all time. I will take no back seat to anybody on my appreciation to Stevie Nicks and her catalog and just the work she's done. But Stevie,
she can take a break.
Stevie can take a break.
Yeah.
Stevie, it's she made Rod Stewart look young. Like Rod.
Yeah, but Rod was working the quarter, man. Rod was all up in the French Quarter last week.
Hey, look, Rod realizes, man, he's got one of the most unique lives in the world. The fact he's still out there, and women are still throwing themselves at Rod Stewart. Like Rod Stewart would have been competing with your dad. Your dad's lucky. Rod didn't feel like going to take him on in horseshoes and
yeah, soccer ball kicking.
He's good at that. He's good at that. Anyway, we're gonna get on out of here, guys. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So last week I felt the most unmanly I've ever felt in my life. So after my last home physical therapy, and I was just mentally tortured by the pain. So I started 2 days later at outpatient physical therapy, where you go to the real physical therapy gym. And I'm telling you, I was scared. I was just like a nervous wreck about it. I think it also has something to do with the fact that I'm on OxyContin. With Dave, I called the day before I went. I called the clinic and said, "Hey, my name is Juan. I have an appointment with somebody named Emily tomorrow. Could you get her to give me a call?" And they said, "Okay, can I tell her what this is about?" I said, "I'm really scared. I'm coming in tomorrow, and I'm just really, really scared. And I know she's not going to tell me on the phone that she's going to hurt me, but I just want to talk to her." So
That's
So she called me back. I had to tell her I was really, really scared. And I told her, I said, I want you to know I've never in my life admitted to being scared of anything.
well, there you go. I think I might have waited to tell her that when I was there, man. I mean,
No, I just wanted to know because I wanted them to tell me no. Like I told them what the last one did, and I said, I said I want to know that that's not what's going to be happening.
how did it go?
It's all right. I mean, it's not pain free, but it's it's a lot of apparatuses that you use to move it and stuff.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I am like a little baby.
You give you a lollipop when you were done?
No, I did stop at the Burger King and get myself a croissant, a croissant.
You rewarded yourself.
I did. That was good.
That's funny. I never would have. I wouldn't even thought to do that.
I don't know why I did either. I just needed some level of reassurance to sit home all by myself all day.
Should have called your dad. Your dad would have said, "Suck it up."
No, my dad's been, back when I had my knee replaced, I used to sit on the end of the bed and your mom would get on the other side of the bed with a rope tied to my leg and pull it. That's what you need to do. Get Joey to pull it. No, I'm going with what they tell me.
Bet your dad didn't get a croissant after either.
It's over. Go home.